Hello, welcome. I'm Sarahlynn of Maitri Movement and Massage in Gig Harbor, Washington. Today's practice will be a practice for the winter solstice. We'll do some meditation, some mantra, a good bit of movement, and some breath practices as well. So as part of our winter solstice, we are going to acknowledge the darkness, acknowledge the warmth and energy and inspiration from the earth, and then also open ourselves up to the coming inspiration of the longer days and the warmth and the light. So I would invite you to start in an easy seated shape. You can be cross-legged, one foot in front of the other, or kneeling. You can grab some props to support yourself if that feels good, to find a nice long but relaxed spine, relaxed shoulders, and then find a space to bring the hands palm face down. Palm face down, traditionally thinking about that grounded energy, earthward energy. Softening through your gaze, or perhaps closing the eyes. First, taking a moment to just check in with yourself. Scanning through your physical tissues, observing the qualities of your body just as you are arriving on your mat, as you are arriving to your practice. Observing the physical qualities of your breath. And then also checking in with your emotional self, with your mental self, noticing the qualities of your thoughts, emotions, without any judgment, just that gentle awareness and acknowledgement, what's going on as we arrive to our practice. And then bringing your awareness specifically to the connection points between your palms and your thighs. Feeling the warmth from the hands, the warmth from the thighs. And then beginning to create a little bit of movement, rubbing the hands on the thighs. Picking up the pace, see if you could build a little bit of heat. Slowly bringing those hands to stillness. And then I would invite you to turn your hands so they're palm face up. Now being open to receiving the energy from the sky, from the ether, from the sun, from the light. Also bringing a gentle awareness to the crown of your head, feeling that gentle length, gentle lightness, reaching toward the heavens, reaching toward the sun from the center of the top of the head. Staying here with the idea of palms face up, representing being open to receive. I'll begin with a mantra. The Gayatri mantra, my favorite translation, is by Douglas Brooks. The eternal earth, air, heaven, that glory, that resplendence of the sun. May we contemplate the brilliance of that light. May the sun inspire our minds. Bhuva swaha. Tad savitur varenyam. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Dhiyo yo na prachodayat. Gently floating or fluttering your eyes fully open if you're not there already. And we'll begin with a little gentle movement with breath, big arm circles. Waiting for your next inhale, use your inhale, open your arms out wide. Imagine scooping up everything that the earth has to offer, bringing the arms wide to the side and up, scooping up everything good that the sky has to offer, letting the palms come together overhead and drawing all that goodness to your heart center. Inhaling, open, gather. Exhaling, drawing in, receive. Taking a few more. Next time the hands come to heart center, let those hands rest. Pause to heart center, palms together. And then take a moment to imagine, visualize, conjure up everything that you have to offer. Allow everything that you have to offer to fill your hands. And then we'll share in the opposite direction, sending those hands high, wide to the side, sharing your gifts, sharing what you have to offer, bringing the hands back around together in front of the pelvis, lifting up through center. Gather what you have to give, inviting the palms wide, offer and share, taking a few more in this direction. And the next time the hands come to heart center, pause with those hands to heart center. And then either bring one palm on top of the other, right at heart center, right at the sternum, or if you like, slide over to anatomical heart on the left part of the chest. Keeping those hands there for a moment, we're going to tune into our breath and then move into a pranayama. So first coming back to the idea of just observing, just a gentle checking in, what's happening with your breath? Where are you in this moment? There's no right, no wrong. Just a curiosity, a checking in. And then beginning to deepen your breath. Deepen your next inhale. Take a slight pause at the top of the breath and then slow down your exhale. Take a little pause at the bottom of the breath. Full inhale. Little pause, slow exhale. Little pause, continuing to breathe here. You can soften the gaze or close the eyes. And then beginning to think of your breath as mirroring the cycle of the seasons. Your inhale is your spring, your beginning. That little pause at the top, full expansion, that's your summer. Release, let go, allow, surrender, that's our autumn. Take that little pause at the bottom. That is where we are now. The deepest, darkest part, the winter, with that potential to inhale, spring is coming. Little pause at your full expansion, summer, surrender, fall, little pause, winter. Moving through a few more here, each cycle, thinking about that big, expansive inhale, the blossoming of spring. That little pause, the full expansion of summer. That slow exhale to release, autumn quieting down, bringing us to where we are now, that potential of winter. Finishing the cycle that you're on. Releasing breath control. Releasing the hands down to a comfortable place. If you're not there already, float or flutter the eyes fully open. Take a couple shoulder shrugs, one direction, other direction. And we are going to find our way around to a kneeling shape, hero pose. So maybe you're there already if you started there for meditation. If not, we're going to find kneeling at least halfway back or near the back of your mat. Hips to heels. If hips to heels is not comfortable and you have props available, you can take a cushion, a pillow, a rolled up blanket, and you can tuck it between your hips and your heels. You can also do this whole flow from a high kneeling shape. I'm going to take us through the first one from a low kneeling shape, and then I'll demo the second one from a high kneel. So settling into long but relaxed spine here, Virasana, hero pose. Wait for an inhale, sweep those hands wide and overhead as we did earlier. Exhale, bringing the hands wide, dive over child's pose, bringing the fingertips down to the earth, belly to thighs. Slide forward, press into the palms. Inhale, lift up, tabletop, hands and knees. Exhale, round the spine, lower the crown of the head and the tailbone, cat stretch. Inhale, lower the belly, open the heart, cow. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, Virasana, kneeling. Exhale to allow the shoulders to relax back and down. So another option here from high kneel. Inhale, lift. Exhale, begin to bring the hands wide. Begin to hinge at the hip. Deeply bend the knees, bringing the fingertips down to the space in front of the knees. Slide over. Looks a little bit like a child's pose, but we keep the hips a little more lifted. Press up, table. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, back to your high kneel, or if you're in Virasana, back to your kneeling. If you're choosing props, you can keep your props between your hips and your heels through this whole flow, decreasing that angle in the knees a little bit, creating some support. Inhaling, lift. Exhale, dive. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child's pose, Balasana. Inhale, hero, Virasana. Exhale to find your foundation. Inhale up, maybe a little more back bend this time. Exhale, dive, Balasana. Inhale, press into the palms, lift. Exhale, round the spine, stretch the shoulders. Inhale, lower the belly, open the heart. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, shoulders back and down. Once more, your rhythm, your pace. When you're done, finding your way back to Virasana. And we're gonna flow again here to come to tabletop, hands and knees. So as we move forward, scooting any seated props that you're using out of the way. If you are still wearing socks like I am, this would be a good moment to take your socks off. And still near the back of your mat, we're gonna slide the hands just a little forward of the shoulder joint. Tuck the toes, float the tailbone into the air. Straighten, but don't lock the knees as you reach both heels in the direction of the earth, building an upside down V with the body, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So the arms are gently rotating in toward one another as if we're gonna try to draw a line from armpit to armpit across the front of your chest. There's a micro bend in the elbows, a micro bend in the knees, crown of the head reaching toward the space just between the thumbs, and you're opening the sits bones up and back toward the corner of your wall and your ceiling, trying to find long, neutral spine. Just gonna feel into a little bit of a three-legged dog here before we move on to our next shape. So grounding through your left foot, start to lift your right foot from the floor. Reach that leg all the way back behind you. Reach through the heel, pull your toes back in toward your body. And then point your toe, let your hips open up to the right a little. Reach those toes away from the crown of the head. Three-legged dog or tail of the dog. Bring that foot back down to meet the left. Even out the way between your two hands.
Ground through your right foot. Slide your left leg back, reach through the heel. Point the toe, reach through the toe, reaching away from the crown of the head. And foot comes down to meet the right. Take a big bend into both knees. Let your belly pull down to your thighs. Bring your gaze toward the top of your mat. Slow walk your deeply bent legs toward the top of your mat, finding a forward fold. Deeply bent in the knees, soften the spine, dangling down toward the earth, and then press into the feet, straighten the knees, find a flat back. Build an upside down L with your body as you slide your hands to your shins or your thighs. Half forward fold. Exhale, soften back to forward fold, soft knees, soft spine. Inhale, press into the feet to lift. Bring the arms wide and overhead. Let the palms meet. Draw the hands down through heart center and let them rest down beside you. Tadasana, standing foundation. Grounded, rooted through the soles of both feet, about a fist distance between your feet, feet parallel, or if it feels better, turned out just a little bit. Baby bend into the knees, neutral pelvis, soft shoulders long through the back of the neck. Next, inhale, sweep your hands wide and overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, hinge at the hips, bring the hands wide, dive over, full forward fold, reaching those fingertips down toward the space in front of the toes. Press into the feet, half lift, long knees, long spine, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, soften, plant both hands, slow step both legs all the way back your mat, find high plank pose, Palakasana. We're going to lower knees, chest, chin to find Cobra, Bhujangasana. Elbows drawing in towards center line, knees come down. Belly stays engaged, heart lowers down toward the space between the thumbs. As we approach the mat, we slide the heart forward, belly finds the floor. Elbows actively pulling toward the back of your space. Use your low back, lift the heart, lift the crown of the head up, up, up and away from the shoulders. Lots of space between ears and shoulders. Lower back down, knees are connected. Press hands under shoulders. Lift yourself back through half plank. Lift the hips a little through tabletop. If they're still tucked, untuck the toes, slide all the way back. Child's pose, Balasana. Pressing into the palms, lifting up. Sliding the hands a little forward of the shoulder. Tuck the toes, float the tailbone, downward facing dog. Take a big bend into both knees, belly to thighs, gazes forward, slow walk feet forward to the top of the mat. Press into the feet, long knees, long spine, half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. Soften to release. Inhale to sweep up, Urdhva Astasana, upward hands pose. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, Urdhva Astasana, bringing the hands high. Exhale, dive Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Soften to plant the hands. Bring the legs all the way back, high plank pose. Lower knees, chest, chin. Allowing yourself to come to the floor. Inhale, Cobra, open the heart, fingertips are light. Making your way back down. Knees are down, press hands under shoulders, lift half plank. If you like, tabletop to child's pose or keeping the toes tucked, float the knees, plank. Lift the tailbone, downward facing dog. If you're in child's pose, pressing up to down dog. Making your way toward forward fold at the top of your mat. Half fold, full fold, sweeping to upward hands, and Tadasana. Inhale, lift, exhale, dive. Inhale, half lift, Exhale, planting the hands, both legs all the way back, high plank. Knees, chest, chin through cobra if you like, moving back to child's pose or right to downward facing dog, or keeping the knees lifted, elbows still drawing in towards center line of the mat. Bringing yourself forward just a little bit, lower your heart down toward the space between the fingers. Elbows are gonna bend, but shoulders come no lower than elbows. Press into the hands, roll forward over your toes, open the heart, upward facing dog, thighs stay floated. If you're choosing up dog, rolling back over the toes through plank, lift the tailbone, downward facing dog. If you're in child's pose, making your way back through downward facing dog, moving toward forward fold at the top of your mat. Pressing into the feet, half fold. Surrender, full fold. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, open. Exhale, dive. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, surrender. Inhale the legs all the way back. Exhale to start your flow. Knees, chest, chin, cobra. Plank, low plank, up dog. Eventually flowing back through child's pose or downward facing dog. If you're in child's pose, making your way back through your down dog. Making your way toward forward fold at the top of your mat. Moving through your half fold. Softening to surrender to the earth. Inhale, sweeping up and open to the sky. Exhale, standing foundation, mountain. Flowing one more time, start to finish. Your variation, your choice. No cues from me. Do what feels right for you in this moment. Eventually finding your way back to Tadasana. Standing foundation, feet firmly connected to that earthward energy, crown of the head, gently opening up to the coming energy of the sun. Inhale, scooping arms wide to the side, upward hands. Exhale, diving over, fold. Inhale, press into the feet, long spine, half forward fold. Exhale, soften to surrender. Plant both hands, ground through your left foot, lift your right heel, slide that foot halfway back your mat, lower the right knee, untuck the toe. Check in that the left knee is in line over the left ankle. I'm gonna bring my left foot forward just a little bit. And then we're gonna bring our hands up overhead, finding an Anjaneyasana, grounded lunge. Take a moment here to really thinking about hips and legs sinking heavy down toward that support of the earth while your arms and your crown are open to that energy from the sun and the sky. Wait for your next exhale. We're going to use that exhale. Sweep your hands down to frame your front foot. Tuck your right toe, lift your knee. Inhale, pull your left leg all the way back to tail of the dog. Stretch, stretch, stretch through that leg in any way that feels good. Maybe it's the heel reaching, maybe toes reaching, maybe the hips are square, maybe not. Bring that foot back down to meet the right. Pause, take a full breath. Wait for your next inhale, sweep your right leg back, tail of the dog. Maybe hips are square, maybe they're not. Leg is drawing back in whatever way feels supportive for your body in this moment. Wait for an exhale. Step that foot all the way forward toward the hands. Hand can come to support the ankle on the same side. Bring it forward. Knee lands under ankle. Lower the left knee. Untuck the toe. Anjaneyasana. Take another big inhale. Use your exhale. Hands come down to frame the front foot. Pause through a full inhale as you tuck the left toe, lift the knee. Exhale as you slide the left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, press into the feet, half lift. Exhale, surrender. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, dive, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Surrender. Plant the hands, ground through the sole of the right foot. Lift the left heel, slide it back your mat. Lower the knee, untuck the toe. Right knee is aligned over the ankle. And we bring the arms overhead, Anjaneyasana. Take another inhale with your exhale. Bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Tuck the toe, lift the knee. Inhale, tail of the dog, right leg back. Pause, find a full breath, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, bring it forward. Hand can come to support, finding that knee over ankle alignment. Lower right knee, untuck toe, bring the hands overhead. Big inhale. Exhale brings the hands down to frame the front foot. This side we pause as we inhale, tuck the right toe, lift the knee, slide the foot forward with your exhale. Breath into half fold, inhale. Release, exhale. Sweep up, inhale. And find your mountain. Inhale, open the hands, open the heart. Exhale, dive. Inhale, half fold. Soften to plant both the hands, ground through the left leg. Slide your right leg back again, this time keeping the knee lifted. High lunge, crescent pose. Maybe bringing the hands up onto the front knee for a moment if that feels better. Always an option to lower the right knee. Moving back through Anjaneyasana if you like, or go ahead and sweep those arms right overhead. High lunge or crescent pose. You can add a little back bend at the top if that feels juicy. Take another big inhale. Exhale, hands come down to frame the foot. Inhale, left leg back, tail of the dog. Wait for your next inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, bring it forward. Inhale, high lunge, crescent pose, Chandrasana. This time, exhale brings the hands down to frame the front foot. Pause, find a full inhale. Exhale, left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, soften. Inhale, slow roll, circle sweep. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, open the hands, open the heart. Exhale, dive. Inhale, half lift. Soften to plant the hands, ground through the sole of the right foot. Left leg comes all the way back, choosing low lunge or high lunge. Bringing the hands down to frame the front foot. Right leg comes back, tail of the dog. Downward facing dog. Left leg rises. Bring it forward, find your lunge. This time, exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Pause, find a full inhale. Exhale, foot slides forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, surrender. Inhale, circle sweep. Exhale, mountain. Pause in your mountain for a moment. Really root downward through the soles of both feet. Find your neutral pelvis. Find your long spine, soft shoulders. Maybe closing the eyes, maybe softening the gaze. As you take a moment here, pause in this standing foundation. Once again, feeling that earthward connection at the soles of the feet. Heavenly connection or energy at the crown of the head. Fully opening the eyes. Inhale, sweep the hands high. Exhale, dive over fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, soften to plant the hands. Step both legs just back to a tabletop, coming down onto the knees and untucking the toes. From here, we're going to transition right into a seated shape. So if it works for you, you can come back to Virasana, hero pose, bringing the hips to the heels, rolling up into kneeling. If you like, you could cross the ankles and sit yourself back and find an easy pose, or you could bring one ankle just in front of the other. If you're choosing easy pose or one ankle in front of the other, I would invite you to just gently notice which ankle landed in front. Find your long, neutral spine. Tune back into your inner wisdom for a moment and just see if it feels more inviting to have your hands palm face down, a little more of that darkness, that fertility, that hibernation coming from the earth, or palms face up, being open to what is coming from the sun. As the days get longer, we get more energy, more light, more warmth. Up or down. Setting the intention to listen to the whispers of your heart. Tap in, tune in to the whispers of your own heart, to the wisdom of your inner being. And begin to gently reflect on, maybe it's the past season, maybe it's the past year, but reflecting on things that have come to pass. And then beginning to think about any patterns, habits, behaviors, relationships that you could let go of. Things that aren't serving you, you would maybe like to leave behind in the coming season or the coming year. Bringing the eyes fully open, grab your pen and paper. You're going to write down everything you would like to let go of and leave behind. Go ahead, pause the video, write everything down. Okay, so now I would like you to take what you just wrote, and if it's on another sheet of paper or in a journal or something, I would like you to rip it out, uncrumple it up, and throw it away. Okay, settling back into your comfortable posture. Are you receiving more energy and inspiration from the earth or from the sun? Softening the gaze or closing the eyes, tuning back in your inner wisdom, the whispers of your heart. Thinking about the present moment. Thinking about the season or the time or the year to come. What new ideas, new thoughts, new behaviors, new relationships would you like to put into place? What seeds would you like to plant here in this deep, dark fertility of winter? What growth would you like to instigate that you want to carry with you into this coming time, into this new season, new beginnings, a time of energy and inspiration and motivation? Go ahead and float your eyes fully open. Grab your pen and paper, getting ready to write everything that you would like to put into place, that you would like to start, that you would like to plant those seeds. Go ahead, pause your video, write everything down. Okay, so that piece of paper I'd like you to hang on to. You can revisit it over the coming weeks or months. You can hang it somewhere where you can see it in your house. And we're going to move into just a little nice, juicy, restorative practice to end our time with. So we're going to come down onto our backs. So if you're still up on some seated props, we'll go ahead and bring those out of the way. Support yourself however you need to come all the way down onto your back. We're going to begin flat on our backs with the knees bent and the soles of the feet connected. Bring your feet just a little bit wide on your mat, and then allow your knees to fall in toward one another. And then allow both your hands to rest somewhere near or on your belly. Feel in to the spaces where you're connected. Noticing parts of the back, shoulders, head, spine, feet. Feeling those points of connection, and with a few easy breaths, could you invite even a little more softness, a little more ease, a little more letting go? And then inviting bent knees in towards your belly. Bringing the hands to the knees. First, gives both those knees a little squeeze into your belly. And then allow the sole of your left foot to come back down to your mat. We're going to bring that bent right knee into the belly. Squeeze that right knee in. Slide your left leg long. Rest it down onto your mat. Then we're going to release that squeeze on the right knee a little bit. And we're going to take the left hand to the back of the right knee. We're going to bring your right arm out to a T, and we're going to guide this leg all the way over into a spinal twist. So if you have props at home, or if you have a rolled up blanket or a pillow, you can bring that to support your right shin as it comes over. So this leg is going to draw all the way over toward the earth. Maybe you continue to support it with your left hand. Maybe it comes all the way down onto a prop, or maybe it comes all the way down onto your floor. Check in with what's happening with your right shoulder. If it's trying to pull up off of the earth and there's any discomfort there, you could slide that arm down a little closer to your spine, or you could bend your elbow and rest your hand up toward your waist. If it feels good, it's in your practice, you can leave that arm opened all the way out to the side. Just make sure there's no pulling in that right shoulder. And if you'd like, you could bring your gaze all the way out past the fingers of the right hand. We'll be here for a moment. So as the body shifts, as the breath shifts, as thoughts change, you may find you need to make little micro adjustments, or you need to allow your mind to come back to the sense of your body and the posture, to the sense of your breath and the posture. Seeing if you can create that invitation to stay fully here, stay fully present. Softening and slowing into the breath as you enjoy this spinal twist.
Beginning to create some gentle movement, fingers and toes, maybe bringing the gaze back to the ceiling. You're going to use the support of the arms to slowly lift that right leg back up in line with the hip. And then the left leg is going to slide in to meet it. So we're back in that knees to chest pose, giving both those knees a little squeeze into the belly. And then bringing your hands over to that bent left knee. Squeeze that left knee in. Send your right leg long. Relax that squeeze a little bit. Bring your right hand to the back of the left knee. Guide that hand across center line, coming down toward the floor, or grab props to support the shin. Hand can support, leg can come to prop, leg can come to floor. Wherever you land, you're going to check in with that left shoulder. Is it trying to awkwardly pull up off the floor? Does it feel comfortable to leave it relaxed down? Options: slide it in closer to the back, bend the elbow, rest the hand up toward the waist. Check in with your point of focus, your gaze, keeping it to the ceiling. We're bringing it out to the left. Spinal twist. Softening and surrendering into this shape. As you need to, making little micro adjustments to the body, to your props. If thoughts shift, bringing your awareness back to the shape, back to sensations in the tissues, back to sensations in the breath. Beginning to invite some gentle movements back into the body. If it's not there already, rotating the gaze back to the ceiling, supporting that left leg as you lift it back up in line with the hip. Right leg comes in to meet, knees to chest pose. Bringing the soles of both feet down to your mat. Bring your hands down alongside your hips. Press into both feet. Lift your hips and spine. Just a brief little bridge, allowing them to come back down, making sure that you feel fully centered. And then we'll zip the legs all the way together so the whole inner line of the leg fully connected. Slide your hands up overhead. Let your fingertips point toward one another. Your elbows reach out to the sides. And then allow your legs to fall open, finding a diamond shape in the lower body, diamond shape in the upper body. Reclined, bound, angle, fully opening ourselves up here to the energy of the sun, the energy of the sky, of the ether, of the light. Inviting a little more softness into the hips, hip flexors, a little more softness into the shoulders, arms, head, neck, face. Softening and slowing into a few more breaths. Letting go, fully surrendering. Surrendering down toward the support of the earth as you leave yourself open to that inspiration from the sun. If you would like to stay here for a few more moments of quiet stillness, feel free, or bring yourself into any other shape that you like to enjoy for a moment of quiet stillness at the end of your practice. So that could be a Shavasana, corpse pose, any other posture that feels good, feels supportive. As you fully relax one last time, letting go in all the tissues, in the breath, in the thoughts, allowing a moment of true stillness. Beginning to invite gentle movements into the tissues, maybe moving hands, feet, or turning head side to side. And then slowly sending your legs long on your mat, your arms overhead, finding a full body stretch. And bringing bent knees back into the belly, squeezing those knees into the belly. Releasing the knees, bringing the right arm overhead, slow lowering over to the fetal position, cradling the head on the right arm. Using the support of your left arm, slow press your way up. Find an easy seat. Grab props if you like. Root down into those sits bones one last time. Long spine, soft shoulders. Taking a moment to observe, how are you feeling here at the end of our time together? What would you like to take with you off of your mat today, and what could you leave behind? Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me, sharing your time, sharing your practice with me. Happy solstice.